Hey everyone, and welcome back to Planet Zoo. Today is a bit of a different type of episode, as we're going to be checking out the zoos submitted for our Discord challenge. Now, the idea behind this challenge was to always push ourselves to improve our building skills, and I'm going to say there's some really cool little habitats to go over today. Now, the challenge was a little bit different this go around, as we did have some stipulations in place to ensure that we really stretched our skills to the limit. So, the goal was to build a habitat for two species. It could be any species, with an East Asian building theme that had to have both indoor and outdoor viewing. Now, the added task was to ensure that only base game building pieces were used. Now, it was a fun challenge. Overall, I'll say that. And if anyone used pieces outside of the base game, I'm going to let it slide. And there's a few reasons for that. Number one, there was a lot of confusion in the Discord about this. Some of it was about, could you use foliage from not base game? Could you use pieces? There was a lot of questions, and we want to avoid that because it wasn't meant to be an act of frustration. It was meant to be a fun challenge, and I think we may have lost sight of what that fun challenge was supposed to be. Now, the second reason as well is we don't want to exclude people who don't have the DLC. It's not fair for them to miss out on building a challenge and stuff like that. And while this episode we are only using base game, in future episodes that may not be the case. So we don't want that to happen either. So moving forward, no more building challenges on restrictions for building pieces. And if anybody's used them today, I'm going to be okay with it as well. It's just in the spirit of just having a fun challenge. Now, first, we're going to be checking out Dino Dex, who's built a fun little habitat for both the timber wolf and snow leopard. Now, I'm not going to be discussing staff facilities in general, as this wasn't part of the stipulation of the challenge. But of course, if anybody's built anything for their staff facilities, we'll still check it out because I think their builds need to be recognized for what they've done. And I think some of them have some really cool building designs. Now, this video is being recorded live, which means you're going to get my experiences, my voices. It's all going to be live. And that means any audio issues and word fumbles are on me, and you get to see them in all of their terrible glory. So, that being said, let's get started. So we're going to be checking out Dino Dex, as I mentioned, and he has this fun little habitat for the timber wolf and snow leopard. Let's see if we can maybe see any in the distance. I love the steam effect on the water. It fits so well with the entire idea of the challenge, and it definitely is a unique building design. I love the idea of having that looks like a little climbing structure in the center so they can kind of climb up even higher. So I'm really excited about that. It looks really cool. We're going to start by going to our left, and they actually have, Dino Dex has also built a staff facility. So we can actually see, this is something I've never thought of doing. I just noticed this actually, is having a chimney with smoke coming out of it. I've thought of building a chimney, but never with like adding smoke. That's really cool. I really like that. Now there are going to be some, there is some, issues on the inside just from a pathing perspective, but of course that's nobody's fault, but I really like the way this looks. Now, going back to the original habitat, we have an inner view. We have some little timber wolves and the snow leopard. They're together. Oh my goodness. They're just resting. I don't blame them. It's the day I'm recording this is a Saturday. It is definitely a rest day for us. We have a little climbing structure as well, so they can kind of play out in their little rest area. Love the idea of using the rock work as well, covering the back, so you're just not going to have like an empty space. Nothing, nobody ever wants to just look at like a plain old wall or anything like that. This is really cool. I really like this. I never really thought of putting this inside of their hard shelter as a place that they could play in. I guess like if it was raining or something like that, or if it was, bad weather, they would come in here and they would still have some enrichment items. That's a really cool idea. I really like that. He's walking away. It's going back outside, I guess. All right, let's continue our journey. We have our entrance to the zoo, and then as we come around, we have a path that terminates. Let's see here. I wonder if there was meant to be a wall here that maybe didn't come over with the build. So we'll need to check that out, but that's okay. It's still a good view. I love the little statue with the flames and stuff like that. That's really cool. And then we have some wolves and snow leopards prowling around. This fog makes it look really cool because you can kind of see them wander off into the fog, and that's such a Oh snap, there's a wolf over there. That's what I mean. Like the fog just hides them so that when they come out of the fog, it looks so fantastic. So we have our semi indoor area, which is an above ground viewing point. So if we look down, little concerned with the no balcony. You wouldn't want to fall down or anything like that. But it is a great view. Again, the fog makes it look really nice. Oh, I see what you did. They can't go through. Oh, it's a natural barrier. That's pretty cool. I've always been weary of doing natural barriers because, like, it's like, would you ever want to be in a zoo where there's a natural barrier that's preventing an animal from coming at you? That's you know what? I didn't see that. That was really well hidden. I did not know it was that deep. Huh. The more you know. That's really cool. But again, going back to it, the fog, just seeing and hearing them howl in the fog, just oh man, seals the deal. That's really cool. I do like the idea of the walkway that you have here, how it's all concrete. I'm a big fan of having like all concrete paths and like kind of hiding what's there. It looks a lot smoother and a lot nicer than seeing the path. And the irregular design makes it look so much more unique as well. So I'm really happy with this. This is really cool. All right, we're going to continue back around. We're going to go to the other side. So we'll have to take a quick jog over. We'll pass our little sleeping area, past all of our staff who are just wandering around. We did keep the zoo closed. I feel it's only fair because we're not ranking anything on like what guests think and stuff like that. So there is no guests. This is a private tour for us today, which I'm kind of happy with. I like the idea of using the fence pieces right here, and then building in the mesh on top of it. I think something that would have sealed the deal for you was maybe having something on the top as well that just kind of close it off as opposed to having it open. Normally in a zoo we would see a part of the fence leaning in just so that they couldn't climb up or anything like that. And on the added benefit, this is to prevent them from guests from throwing things in as well. So it's an added little benefit that might just like bring your barriers to the next level. The other thing, and this is in no way a critique on the building, I hate the mesh when you go from one angle to the other and it kind of just disappears. It's because the mesh is so thin, you can't really see it, and it can be quite frustrating. But as we come around, we have another indoor area. This is pretty cool. So another climbing structure with some branches, some dead trees, adding a little bit more. I'm going to say life. I know that dead trees don't bring life, but I get what you're trying to say. That's pretty cool. I'm really happy with this overall build. That's really awesome. Great job. I really like this. All right, so this is Dino Deck. So we are going to put a voting system in place. So what can happen is after this video goes live in the community, you're going to see a poll come up. And for viewers who are not part of the Discord, by all means, continue to vote as well. I think it would be really cool for the Discord members to see what you're happy with. So by all means, think about voting as well. I think that would be really awesome. All right, let's move on to the next zoo. All right, up next, we have Circle E's Challenge Zoo submission. Now, they've built a rather large habitat for both the rhino and the wildebeest. And I gotta say, when you come in and you just see this fountain and the bubbling water, it's such a peaceful design. The added flowers around it adds a little bit of color. I love it, and it contrasts so well with the color in the background. Amazing. I'm really happy with this. And then, of course, we have our... what are these? These are the single player rewards, if I'm not mistaken. So we have the Indian Rhino rewards, the white Indian Rhino. I like this. The way you have it set up is really cool. And then just like the balcony to prevent kids from like climbing up on it, stuff like that. Just an added little extra tidbit. Now, I did check this one out beforehand. And I gotta say, there were some hidden features that I didn't even realize when I came in. Because when you come in, the first thing you see is this big open window right in the back. And we're gonna go right there. That's the first thing you wanna go. But you gotta pay attention to the sides. Because number one is we have a washroom. Things that I would never think to see or put in a challenge zoo is a washroom. I think this is really cool and an added little bit of realism for a habitat. We have our education board. We have our window. So when you look out, we can see the blue wildebeest, taking a little dip. There's quite a few of them, eh? Look at that. Oh, and there's a baby rhino in the background. Oh my goodness. There's quite a few. I like the and there's the wildebeest calf hanging out. They're playing soccer, I guess. For those who don't know, like recording this episode, the World Women's FIFA World Cup is on right now. Canada's still in the game, so I'm excited about that. As a fellow Canadian, gotta represent. This is actually what I missed when I first came in through here. This little indoor viewing area of their hard shelter. This is really cool. And look at all the rhinos. Oh my God, they have 3 baby rhinos. When I pulled up the zoo, I did disable everything from a habitat perspective. So like aging, death, birth, stuff like that. I've disabled all of that because the intent of this is really not to critique the animals, but to critique their building. But I gotta say, just seeing that white rhino lumber out of the distance and like through the grass, just absolutely fantastic. This is really cool. I like this. I love rhinos. Rhinos are like such an awesome animal. Wildebeest as well, but rhinos kind of seal the deal from an animal perspective, I gotta say. So there is a little hiccup with the traversal, and this is not the only challenge zoo that was affected by this, but the upper area, for some reason, you can't actually walk. So we're going to check the upper area last because we can't really walk up there, so we're going to have to switch the camera up a little bit. But I really want to check this out because when I saw this the first time, and I did not think there was anything here, and then I stuck my head through, and Circle E actually put some detail, some attention to detail to their staff facilities. I thought this was really cool. They added in some like a cart, some bags, ladders, things like that, a broken wheel. I did not expect this when I stumbled through here by accident and I saw this. This is really cool. And then we have another little window as well, which I think putting a window in the staff area makes so much sense. You would want to have a private window. This is where you can observe the animals without, having to worry about guests and things like that, and being able to see them in their natural habitat without having to worry about people, yelling and screaming, and just having a good time is really cool. So I've never thought of putting a window in like a guest in a staff area. This is really awesome. And look at all the animals. There's so many of them. Oh my goodness. I like the little dips. You can kind of see them again, just lumbering down into the distance. That's so cute. Oh, look at the little guy. Just wandering around. He's looking at us too. Oh, look at his little baby horn. Such a cute guy. Okay. That's enough of the rhinos. That's what I hear. I love the skylights. There's actually one on both sides, and just getting that natural light is fantastic. It really goes to show the added attention to detail. I love the idea of having some added, like, just fresh light shining in. I'm a big fan of natural light as opposed to like light bulbs. In fact, in my house, I've gone on a war to replace all my light bulbs with like white natural light as opposed to yellow light. I find it just looks so much cleaner. Now this is the top of the exhibit, so we get a better outdoor view. But this is what I meant. You can't actually. I'm trying to walk. You can't walk. For some reason, there's a path there because we can see the bench. So they wouldn't allow you. And same with all this. So we definitely know there's a path, but for some reason we can't go there. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna switch the camera over to free look mode, and then we're gonna go and explore it as if we were walking up here. And this is that bird's eye view of the zoo, and I think this is really cool. I love the little island in the center, and it just brings it all together. And then like having this like little stream like feed a pond, which is really awesome. I love it. I even like the fact that you have like the foliage like on the sides, kind of anchoring it down. It's exactly what I would do. This is really awesome. Now, if oh my God, there's a tire too. Oh goodness. So if I like this, I'm not a big fan of the mud pools because one is they flatten the terrain, which makes sense, but I don't like the lips. It just looks so artificial. So I'm a big fan of putting like rocks around it to kind of like blend it in and taper it in. So it's almost like there's a mud pit that's formed in the center of rocks, and that would make sense because as it rains, if there's nowhere for that rain to drain out of, it would just naturally form a mud pit, which that's exactly what we want to see here. This is really cool. I love the attention to detail with the paintbrush as well, kind of feathering it in and on the pools and like the streams and stuff like that. Oh my, look at him run with his little legs. This is really cool. I love this. I love this habitat. Both really good habitats. This is awesome. I even like the type of roof that you had here. It's very like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a wall. It's like a it's kind of like a fortress wall. I really like the look at it, and the contrast between the two colors. Pretty awesome. Oh, you just have I do this all the time, having the not putting them in far enough. It happens all the time to me. Crazy Planet Zoo mechanics. There's so much that goes into building a habitat that when you build it, it can be quite daunting. I think there's so many little details that sometimes you just miss them, and that's part of building. And I think this is why a challenge is so good, because it pushes us to to try new techniques and to try new things and learn new things. And on top of that, we learn from each other. I hope that that for me, the takeaway, this sunlight, I love this sunlight. That's really cool. And then the window in the staff area, just freaking awesome. And the other takeaway, of course, not you can see it anymore, but the bathroom, having that bathroom hidden that way, but like it's not hidden with that large sign, but you just naturally don't see it until you're leaving. And then that's exactly what you would want. You want the habitat to focus on the animals and the experience, but you also need to take care of your guests. So when they're leaving, they're going to see it and be like, oh yeah, like that helps me out. I think that's a really cool way of doing it, having hidden it back that way. And it's not even hidden, but it is at the same time. Just really, really fun overall. Great work to both Dino Decks and Circle E. This is phenomenal. I love this. All right, let's continue on our journey. We have 3 more zoos to check out today, so we'll be right back. Up next, we have Sparrow 838 submission. Now, this is our 3rd zoo we're checking out. And if you didn't know, Sparrow's also a YouTube creator. So if you haven't checked out her channel, by all means, please do so. I've added it in the description below. And I think that would be really awesome if you were to go check out her stuff. She has some fantastic builds. And, we actually, she's part of the Discord. We actually worked together on quite a few builds. I think it's fantastic. We learn so much from each other. Well, I'm speaking for myself anyway. I can't speak for her, but I feel like I learn a lot from watching her videos. So I would encourage everybody to go and check out hers as well. I think it's really awesome. Now, we're looking at a little habitat for the red panda and the Chinese pangolin. So let's go ahead and check it out. And I gotta say, this opening area, like with the top of the entrance gate, this just looks amazing. It's a torii gate, which is really cool. And then just having the added lions on the side, just phenomenal. I love this. So there's 2 areas on the side and then an upper area. So same idea as Circle E. For some reason, we can't walk on the upper area. So we are going to explore the bottom area and then we'll circle around to the top. So we're going to go to the right and we're going to come out on the left. I love the little benches and the hedges and stuff like that. And even like as you walk up, and we can't see it now, but as you walk up, it was like having the bamboo forest around you, just absolutely phenomenal. And I love these doors as you kind of walk through these doors and then you come in here. Oh my God, I didn't even see this. Oh, look at the red pandas. They're eating and everything. Oh, and then, oh, you have the little children. Oh, this is so cool. And then I love this. This is a custom billboard, if I'm not mistaken. She built this. It adds a little bit of like, information. This is naturally where you'd see kind of, cool, fun facts about the red panda. And then we have our viewing area. Now this, I gotta say, this is just absolutely phenomenal. I love the rock work and the bridge, and it's kind of like a little shrine. This is really cool. A funny story, we were actually talking about rocks the other day. We were sharing tutorials on rock building, and I think by far Sparrow is the better person at building rock formations. I am not good, and just looking at her work, I feel like I can learn so much. Like even having these little rocks, right? Oh, goodness gracious. This is really cool. And then as you walk around, you kind of see some enrichment items. You can see a little Chinese pangolin walking around right now. The wind chimes as they walk through, going into the bridge. That's a really cool idea. And I really love this, having it, embedded with a symbol at the same time, like looking through. This just looks really awesome. I love this. Oh my goodness. We have a feature, a green feature in the center with our education boards and some little baskets and pails and stuff like that. And it looks like an incense burner. I like this. Didn't even know that was a piece you had in this game. This is really cool, like a little cap for the basket and stuff like that. But we can't forget this. Oh, I haven't even seen this. I've seen these. These are really cool, but this is pretty awesome. I'm pretty positive these are custom built. These are really cool. I'm gonna have to check that out. The fans and the boat. This is awesome. I really like this. This is a fantastic build. And then we have the other side of the viewing area. We have a little outdoor, is that a mud pit maybe? Or we'll have to check that out. And then we have a little climbing area for them to go and explore, the red pandas. Oh, and we have their food. Oh, so they can come here and we can see them eat. Oh, water and food. That's so cute. And then we have the final attraction on this side, which is some these are what are these? These are like the doors separators, and then we have some urns and stuff like that. It's really cool. How did you get the water in here? How did you do that? Oh, I need to figure this out. This is really cool. I love this idea. And then another custom board. This is something that I think I've never wanted to play around with. I think I need to play around with this. Having like custom boards like this is really cool. That's awesome. Fantastic job. Now, as we come out, if we were to wrap around the corner, we're going to have a little gate preventing us from walking, but we're going to hop the gate. And this actually goes to the entrance to the zoo. So it's a little hidden entrance. I like how it sits. It's so innocuous. You wouldn't really naturally see this. Like when you're walking through, your eyes don't go over there. Your eyes go over here. That's really cool. And then, oh, the cherry blossom trees. Fantastic job. We're going to check out the top area as well, and we'll take a look. We have some education boards up here. Let's see here. Hang on. There we go. Now we can walk. It's the same issue as the other build. Okay, let's start off. We have some hanging baskets. I do not play around enough with these hanging baskets, but this is really cool. Well done. Beautiful, beautiful. And then we have that shrine with the water, and oh my goodness. And then it looks phenomenal from up here. This is their habit, like this is where they're resting. We'll hop into the exhibit really quickly to show that. We have some education boards. We kind of see that bird's eye view. This is really cool. I like this. This is really awesome. And then another little end cap for the Chinese penguin. Oh. This is really cool. The weeping willow in the distance. I love the tree work and stuff like that. And then I'm pretty sure I just heard a speaker, an education speaker as well. This is phenomenal. Great job, Sparrow. I feel like anybody can learn from this one. And if we take a look in here, this is really cool. They have their shelter. Oh, it's taking a little nap. They have their shelter with some climbing apparatuses. Again, another builder putting some climbing areas inside the shelter. Really awesome. They have an underground den. This is really cool. This is amazing. I have nothing to say about this. This is fantastic. You even color the pipes to match the wood. Oh, this is phenomenal. I think I've said it a few times, but great job. I love this. This is amazing. I think that there's a few things I'm definitely going to be taking away for my own. Oh, is he going to go through the wind chimes? Oh, he's going over to the little shrine. If you are a gamer, for those who have played Ghost of Tsushima, this really reminds me of Ghost of Tsushima. This is a really cool build. This brings me back. Great job. All right, let's go on to our next challenge. Now, our last member submission actually comes from Claby, who's brought us to Lucky Panda Exhibit, a home for a red panda and a giant panda. It's like a true panda paradise. So he was letting us know. I think he submitted his first, and he was letting us know that he did something a little cool, and I'm really excited. I love this though. This reminds me of like an older East Asian inn, if you've ever seen something like that. It has a very inn feel to it. I love the woodwork and everything like that. This looks great. So we have Lucky Panda Restaurant. I've never played with the restaurant. I've always been really nervous to play with the restaurants, but I love this. Having some education materials, the panda statues, and then just like a place to eat. But this is not even the coolest part. The coolest part is it borders the indoor shelter. So they have a little shelter for them to kind of come and sleep in, and you can come in, grab a bite to eat, and just sit back and relax. Watch the pandas relax. Oh my goodness. You can kind of see a red panda just having fun in the distance there. This is really cool. Again, you've colored the donation bins. Fantastic work. I love the idea of having this as like a centerpiece on the wall. This is really awesome. And then he's placed the wood panels, or the door panels, on the wall. For the longest time when I was playing around with this, I did not realize that if you put them together, because they go together at angles to kind of create a standing wall. So it's like a separation wall. That the paintings actually match up, with the exception, weirdly enough, I think it's I'm pretty sure it's this one. This one matches on this side, but then this one doesn't have. But then, like, so these two to go together, these two to go together, but like, sorry, this one and this one go together. I don't know. I'm looking at the trees. That's why. So if you look at the branches, these two go next to this one. So it'd be this one first, then this one, and then that one. But where's this one come in? That's what I'm curious about. But besides the point, this is really cool. And then they have like your little, like, this is really cool. Like having them cook on the other side. You order on this side, but being able to see them on this side. And it reminds me of like a teppanyaki restaurant where, you can kind of go and they prepare the food in front of you and stuff like that. This is what this reminds me of. So this is actually really cool. And honestly, I didn't realize this until I looked at it from this direction, that this is where they're cooking it on this side. So that's a pretty cool, small attention to detail. And then even like the shadow with the panda. So the panda eating the bamboo and just sitting here, and it's sitting on top of the restaurant name. So like this would be your brand logo and then the name. This is really cool. I like this. And then it feels so welcoming. And then again, just like that boat on the wall, phenomenal work. But we're not here just for the restaurant. We're here to check out the habitat. So somebody else who's put a restroom, a hidden restroom, did not even notice this until I was kind of exploring around. But like, you have a little hidden restroom right here. That's pretty awesome. And it just reminds me of like an inn. And that's what it is. It is an inn. This is where you would go to eat and stuff like that. That's phenomenal. We have our red walls. I feel like this would be like a perfect place for a gate, like a large gate to get a vehicle in or something like that into the habitat. This is really cool, and I love this. I love this wall. This looks awesome. I think, and I'm pretty sure that's a custom wall that you built too, if I'm not mistaken. When I was building, I didn't notice. I'm not observant, but I don't think I noticed anything like that in there either. And then we have a path that stretches all the way around, so it's an above ground viewing area. We have like a little rock attraction, so it's gonna be like the centerpiece. Some branches so they can actually climb to the top, and then that's really cool. And then we have another use of that bridge, the East Asian bridge with the water. Man, oh man, so many pandas. Look at the pandas. It's funny. Pandas are such a unique animal. They're so lovable, but like they're so like floppy at the same time. And I remember when Toronto, it was a big deal when Toronto actually partnered with another zoo, and we had them on loan. We had some pandas on loan, and it was a really big deal to bring them to Canada, because it's very hard to see pandas in a natural environment. They're not very they don't have a lot of defense mechanisms. So they look at the way they sit. Oh my God. They eat so much bamboo, and it's because like the nutritional value that they get from bamboo is so limited. So they're required to eat so much bamboo just to get enough like nutrients from the bamboo to live. They're just so like, how can you not love pandas ever at all? And then you have the red panda, which, like, I realize that they're a panda, but when you think of a panda, you think of the giant panda, not the red panda. And then you see the red panda, and they're like, that's not a panda. That's like it's like a giant squirrel or something like that. So it's interesting seeing the naming of the pandas and stuff like that. That's really cool. I love the added benefit of like these little cooling vents. They add a little bit of, I found the steam that comes off these is just phenomenal, utilizing those in some cool ways. Like you could mix in some fog, or like if you were to add like some water to create some natural fog and stuff like that, that would be really cool. We have a climbing area and a little scent stone, so they actually, gets them to climb up all the way up here. Almost looks like that's hang on. I just noticed this. That kind of reminds me of like not that they would ever use it, but like a diving board, so they can kind of climb up here and then jump into the water. That's really funny. I like that. That's really cool. So we come around the corner, and then we keep on marching our way down. I like this in the distance. You kind of see this little like it's like a jungle play pen almost, in the sense that you have your mud pit, your foraging pit, sorry, not your mud pit, and then they have like this pole around it. That's really cool, and it just adds a little bit of extra flavor. And everything is like colored red with the wood on the back. Man, this looks amazing. All the pandas would come out to eat. There they are. reminds me of my dog when I put food when I drop food on the floor. My dog is right there. She is a fiend for cheese. So if you drop cheese on the floor, she knows. There's the foraging pit. They're just eating their bamboo. I love the animation of them eating bamboo. It's so cool. Oh, so lovable. You gotta love pandas. You gotta love animals in general. Animals are just so innocent. Like, it's not like they did anything. They're just there. And then we're here as well. And then there's the entrance to the zoo for the keepers. So they have their little keeper huts and everything all the way over there, and then they come in here. That's amazing. I really love this. I love all of them. Each of them have unique features. And, I, for one, maybe not for you guys, but I'm definitely going to be taking something from each of these exhibits. We have Dino Dex's, fog in the air with the wolves. I think that's, it's such an amazing feel. But we have Circle E with our sunroof, like the natural roof with the letting in the sunlight. I've never thought of building that into like kind of like a staffing area the way that is. That's really cool. And then of course we have Sparrow with her amazing attention to detail, that rock work and the pool and the shrine, just phenomenal. And then of course we have the inn with Claby, just phenomenal. So some amazing building features that you gotta love the building features. This is just absolutely phenomenal. All right, so we're going to go on. The final build is not a submission for the challenge. It's not a challenge. You're not going to be able to vote for it or anything like that, but it's going to be my submission. It's what I built. Nowhere near as great as some of these builds. I think every build has some really cool features. So I'll share mine so everybody can see what mine looked like. All right, everyone. Our fifth zoo we're going to check out today is not a submission for the challenge, but rather my interpretation of the challenge. And we have a zoo for the giant panda and the Malayan tapir. So we have I built this based off of like a Japanese temple. So it's very based in like that idea. So we have like our torii gates, and then we have some initial buildings. And ideally, if this was a real exhibit, we'd use these for like, I don't know, we would use these for like info booths and stuff like that. We also have a little, it's a little watering station, so you can kind of come in here and you would have, you wash your hands and stuff like that here. I could not figure out how to get the water to go up to the right level, so that's on me. Got to figure that out. And then we kind of come up, we have the entrance to our temple. We have our two lions guarding the entrance for us with our two large shrines as well. And then we can kind of walk up, and we're in the temple proper. And we have, it just goes straight in. It goes straight in. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It goes right in. So one level. Oh, that's awkward. But there you go. That's the view. I think it's a little bare. I'm not going to lie. I was in the process of building some other stuff at the same time, so I kind of whipped this together. But this is mine. We have some images on the walls utilizing those floor panels, and then we have the floor panels actually set up. And this is what I mean. This like the sky mixes well together, but not these. This is why I'm so confused. We have some added benefits of some windows and whatnot, and then we have like the outdoor area. So we have your indoor and outdoor viewing. We have like a little water feature right here in the back. And then it kind of wraps around. And my idea behind this was like having like it'd be like a walk around porch almost. Which we kind of see in a lot of traditional Japanese buildings and stuff like that. And then we have our rest area, so a hard shelter right here. And then we'll just carry on over to the other side. We'll run and jog over here. So we have some more like plants that we kind of placed around. Don't have them next to the wall because we didn't want them clipping through the wall, because plants do not belong through the walls. That's not a real thing. We have another hard shelter over here with some bridges to kind of get over to the island. You can kind of see the little giant panda hanging out. I added these rocks in the center to kind of like break up the ground, but it looks a little bare. But this is my submission. Oh, those giant pandas. I love giant pandas. As you can tell, I made one for giant pandas. Oh, poor guys. and then the Malayan tapir. Such an interesting animal. It's like it wants to be a panda, but it's not. Right on. So those are the 5 zoos that were submitted for the challenge. Of course, my zoo is not up for voting. So we have 4 zoos for vote. So zoo 1 was Dino Dex, zoo 2 was Circle E, zoo 3 was Sparrow 838, and zoo 4 was Claby. So again, in the you can vote in the comments. Let me know what you thought was the best build. We're also going to have a community poll that's going to open up, so you can vote on the community poll as well. But I think this is something that everybody's going to be able to see, and I think everybody had some fantastic builds for their zoos, and it's I'm really excited to see what our next challenge will bring. One fun tidbit about this build: these walls are a pain in the butt. There's so many individual pieces that go into this wall that every time I try to move the wall, my game lags. I've never had that happen with this game where it lags out. So that's the first, and I got really scared there for a bit. Building everything is now a chore because it lags so bad. All right, everybody. I'm going to leave it right here for now, but check on back soon on the channel. We're going to have some more episodes of Oasis Zoo, and we'll do some zoo tours soon as well. But thanks for checking out the video, everybody, and I look forward to seeing your votes in the comments. Ciao for now.